This is the Angels POSTCAST, your instant game reaction for the Los Angeles Angels. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Hello, Halo Nation. Hello, Halo hopefuls, and welcome back to the latest edition of the Locked On Angels POSTCAST, coming at you live, as always, after every single Angels game, right here live on the Locked On Angels YouTube channel, and after the fact, both on the channel and wherever the heck you get the Locked On Angels audio podcast feed. If you don't know who the heck I am, my name is Gavin Carlson. I'm a former credentialed journalist in the LA area. I spent 4 years covering UCLA sports with the Daily Bruin. I'm in year 2 with the Locked On Podcast Network, and I would argue I'm one of the busiest men in America. I'll be honest. I'm glad to be here. I know the game ended, 30, 40 minutes ago. Was actually recording another show for this amazing Locked On Podcast Network Rams Squad show, which you guys will see tomorrow on the Rams channel if you are a Rams fan, or if you're just a fan of the network and what I do and what everyone does. But glad to be back here live after, unfortunately, another Angels loss. And the only thing that's more consistent than me being inconsistent in terms of when this show is going live and all of that, the only thing that's equally consistent at being inconsistent is this Angels darn baseball team, because they do nothing consistently well. Nothing consistently well. The only things they do consistently are struggle. And it continued again tonight. This game is so painful for so many reasons. Before we say it, shout out to everybody in here. Jello M, Angels win, Roman Rips, Larry, Mohoko, Clone Trooper, and everybody else. Appreciate you guys being in here. But this game is painful, and you guys are troopers for being in here with me being this late and with this game being so brutal. It's a painful game for a bunch of reasons. Nathan, shout out to you as well. Patrick, you as well. And one of the reasons is one of the only guys that we have been able to project as being not only a guy that in the present is really good, but also in the future will be really good, is Jose Soriano. And I've been his biggest defender, his biggest advocate. The Jose Soriano bandwagon, I'm at the front of. This is a guy that I truly still to this day think is the future ace of this team. And not because the rotation is bad, but because I think he can be that good. He's outside of a Zach Neto, who's hurt. Who else? A Joe Adell, who didn't do We are back. I can't win, guys. I cannot win. I'm trying, bro. I'm trying. I'm in my office at work, and they just pulled the plug on the Wi-Fi. There's construction happening. So I just quickly cooked up a hotspot. Just like the Angels, I'm struggling. But we are back. And like I was saying, Jose Soriano is supposed to be the most reliable part of this team. When we talk about guys that are good now, but also young enough to be good in the future, he is one of them. One of the few. I think it's just Zach Neto and him, and now Joe Adell, but you couldn't say that until this season. Those feel like the big three. But Jose Soriano, he's quietly, not really quietly, he is, becoming a guy who is projecting that he's going to be good, but isn't getting it done in the present anymore. He's not. The guy's ERA continues to creep up and up and up and up. It's now 4.26, guys. Like, that's just bad territory. That's not, oh, it's good and he'll be better and there's potential. That's just a bad ERA. There's no other way to put it. And unfortunately, at the end of the season, when guys, they're not playing for wins anymore, right? They're playing for next season, for the confidence, for all of that. He's been really bad in the recent games. He had 2 shutouts on August 25th and August 31st. But before that, 8 hits, 5 earned runs, 3 home runs against the A's on August 17th. So far in the month of September, 5 hits, 8 earned runs, and a home run in 2 1/3 on September 5th against the A's again. Then against the Mariners, 5 hits, 4 runs, 3 of them earned in 4 innings. And then today, he struggles, just an inning and a third, gives up 3 earned runs, 2 walks, and then he leaves with a really scary play, right? A comebacker. He gets a forearm contusion is the final verdict. It's just unfortunate. Unfortunate because who knows? Maybe he would have hunkered down and had a great start after that. We'll never know. I think he'll be fine, and that's why you're probably wondering, Gavin, why are you going on and on about how much he's struggling and not starting with the fact that he leaves this game with an injury? Well, because I think he'll be fine, right? And so the bigger thing is talking about the future of Jose Soriano, the future of this rotation, and it's hard to feel good about it after what we just saw in this start so far, just in an inning and a third, what we saw on September 11th, what we saw in those 2 starts against the A's. And again, this guy has an ERA of 4.26 now. 4.26. The other concern is as the sample size is getting larger, the stats are getting worse, right? Everyone was praising him, including me, rightfully so, for how good he was last year because of how amazing it was that this guy's never started a game in his life. And suddenly he starts 20 games and has a 3.42 ERA, gets a bunch of wins, and also still has the upside of only being in his first season as a starting pitcher, the upside of being a guy who's still developing a 3rd pitch, a 4th pitch. But now, unfortunately, when the reason we're hyping him up is because we're expecting this season for the ERA to go from 3.42 to maybe 3.3, and the next season for it to go to 3.15, and then maybe you get to that elite territory in 2027 or something. But instead, as the sample size is growing, the stats are getting worse. He's getting exposed more. And that's what's probably the most concerning aspect of Jose Soriano as this season nears its end. The other concerning thing is still, despite me saying what all the things I said, I'm still telling myself that Jose Soriano has the potential to be the ace. And it's becoming more and more because this team stinks than it is because he actually has ace potential. And just because of how dire everything else is looking, you have to, as an Angels fan, at least bank on Soriano being good, or man, we got nothing, right? We got nothing because it's hard to feel remotely good about this offense. I know there's a bunch of names in this lineup, especially at the bottom, that are not going to be playing meaningful baseball for the Angels next season, but still, another game where the Angels put up less than 5 hits, 3 hits, 2 home runs yesterday, 4 hits, 2 home runs today. And today, even worse, because I literally made the joke on yesterday's show that if the 2 home runs came from Taylor Ward, the C I gave yesterday's show, it would have been a D. Well, guess what? Today, both home runs come from Taylor Ward, and the guys that we're hoping to see do well, Denzer Guzman, 0-for-3 with 3 strikeouts. Christian Moore, 0-for-4 with 4 strikeouts. It doesn't get any worse than that from them. And that's what we'll talk about after our break here. But for now, the concern, Jose Soriano struggles, and the rest of the pitching staff did not help him. Brogdon, a young arm that we still might want to be a part of this future. Well, no. The ERA for him, 5.7, gives up 2 earned runs in just 2 2/3 innings, including a home run. Stevenson, another young guy. Fortunately, he played well. 2 strikeouts in his inning. I think there's still a scenario, obviously, where Robert Stevenson, I said young guy, but by young, I mean a relatively new guy in terms of the Angels and what maybe we can expect if he maybe can contribute to this team. But he's not young in any sense of the word. How young is Robert Stevenson, by the way? He's 32. Yeah, he's not even close to young. But you know what I mean in terms of he's new in this role, being on the Angels and trying to contribute to them. There's still people who believe he can contribute to this team in a couple years. But There's not much, guys. There's really not much. Urania comes in, gets absolutely blown up as well. Just a brutal game, a brutal game for the pitching, and it was even more brutal for this lineup. We'll talk about that after our break here on a technical difficulties, but we're here edition of the Locked On Angels postcast. I'll be right back. Now, on this Wednesday night, another losing Wednesday night, today's show is brought to you by PrizePicks. Look, I absolutely freaking love PrizePicks for so many reasons. First off, if you don't know what it is, it's a daily fantasy app where making the right call can actually pay off. You and I, well, we make decisions every day, but on PrizePicks, being right, it means cashing in. With football back especially, PrizePicks has the simplest and fastest way to get in on the action. Just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player projections, and you can turn your takes into real prizes all in less than 60 seconds, and that's what I love. It's quick, it's easy. You can do it last minute, right before the game starts, and just like that, a game you're already interested in, well, now it becomes even more interesting, intriguing, stressful, all the great things that come with watching sports. I love looking at projections in baseball and football. Those are my two favorite, right? Because in baseball, you can say total bases for a couple guys. In football, it's yards, it's receptions, it's touchdowns, it's everything, right? And there's great discounts on PrizePicks, including this weekend, Patrick Mahomes over under half a passing yard. They give you these free plays where you're already guaranteed to have one of your stat projections hit. Now, guess what? You only need to hit 1 or 2 more, and you're making serious money. So download the PrizePicks app today. Use code LOCKEDONMLB to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code LOCKEDONMLB for $50 in lineups after your first $5 play. PrizePicks, it's good to be right. Today's show also brought to you by Monarch Money. Look, most people can't name all their financial accounts or even what they are worth, whether it's 401ks, properties, or investments. And when you don't have the full picture, you can end up leaving money on the table. That's why there's Monarch Money. It's an all-in-one personal finance tool that brings your entire financial life together in one clean, easy-to-use interface on your laptop or your phone. It's built for people with busy lives. Look, if you're like me, I'm doing a freaking post-game show at 8 p.m. inside of my office that I've been inside since 8:30 in the morning, and I'm doing it at 8 p.m. because I was just doing another show, right? I'm busy. I don't got time to worry about my finances, but good thing for me and for you, Monarch does the heavy lifting for you. You can link all your accounts in minutes, see clear data visuals, get smart categorization of your spending, and finally feel in control of your money without ever touching a spreadsheet. So don't let financial opportunity slip through the cracks. Use code LOCKEDONMLB at monarchmoney.com in your browser for half off your first year. That's 50% off your first year at monarchmoney.com with code LOCKEDONMLB. And finally, today's show is brought to you by Gametime. There's nothing like catching a baseball game live. The energy, the crowd, the chance to see your team in person, but actually getting tickets, that's the tough part. Queues, login screens, surprise fees. It takes all the fun out of it, but that's why I use Gametime, the app that gives the advantage back to fans. It's the fast, easy, and backed by the Gametime guarantee. You'll always get 100% authentic tickets delivered on time at the best price. Plus, all fees are included, so the price you see is actually the price you pay. So download the Gametime app, create an account, use code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, that's promo code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off. Swipe, tap, ticket, go. Download Gametime today. Back here live on the Locked On Angels postcast. The Angels fall 9-2 to the Brewers. It's frustrating. It really, really is, because Angels baseball in September, the Super Halo Bros did a great job describing it on the morning show today. It's just not fun, man. It's not fun. There's nothing to be excited about. Even other teams that stink, at least when they bring up their young prospects, they do exciting things. The Angels... We got Denzar Guzman and Christian Moore hitting home runs yesterday. That gave us something to be excited about. And it's one thing for them to maybe just go 1-for-4 tonight, right? And maybe calm us down a little bit, but still show us something. Maybe they go 0-for-4, but they do it in a way where they hit a couple hard balls, right? Christian Moore 0-for-4, 4 strikeouts. Denzar Guzman 0-for-3, 3 strikeouts. Rivero, if you're putting any stocks in him, 0-for-3 with a strikeout. Bryce T, you know how much I defend him, 0-for-3 with a strikeout. Mike Trout, the best player in Angels history, 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts. Rengifo, a guy we're trying to be optimistic and say he can contribute to this team next season. Leadoff spot, maybe that's where he belongs. 0 for 4. Joe Adell, the best player on this team this season outside of maybe Zach Neto. 0 for 3. The strikeout. Oswald Peraza, he gets the one hit for him. But outside of Oswald Peraza, the only other guy who got a hit tonight was Taylor Ward. Luckily for us, in terms of not, making us want to jump off a bridge, luckily he was phenomenal.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
Taylor Ward, player of the game, 3 hits, 2 solo shots. And at the very least, it's been a great season for Taylor Ward. It has. It's really sad that great season for one of the, best hitters on this team is 782 OPS, but he gets his 100th RBI in this ball game. Home runs 32 and 33. So this is going to be a 35 homer, more than 100 RBI season for Taylor Ward. And as much as you would love the average to be higher than 225, as much as you would love for it to be important, right, that he's doing these things. As someone who's wanted him traded and still probably wants him traded in terms of the guys we could have gotten for him and the fact that this is not a competitive team, guys, I got to shut up a little bit, right? 100 plus RBIs, 33 home runs. He's been consistent enough to give him all the praise he deserves. And with other guys on the, even when you look at the Joe Adells and the Zach Netos this season, right? Joe Adell has still had some ups and downs. Zach Neto has had some ups and downs and some injuries. Nolan Scheinerl hurt. Logan O'Hoppy's been pretty awful. Mike Trout has been pretty bad. Taylor Ward has been arguably the best and most consistent hitter on this team. And so as someone who will continue to say that it's not a good state of affairs if that's the case, if Taylor Ward is your best hitter or your most consistent one, I do have to shut up and say he has been, right? And give him his credit when it is due. Again, there's going to be criticism in the sense that it was already 5-0 at the point where he showed up. And so it does feel like another Chris Paul hits the 3 to cut the lead to 52 meme, right? Like that's what it feels like. But still, a home run in the 4th, a home run in the 6th, off of Woodruff, another pitcher who's been very, very good. 3.2 ERA, 7-2 on the season, a great Brewers team overall. You got to give him his credit, but that's about all you can do because otherwise this offense was awful. One other hit besides Taylor Ward. That is absurd. That is absurd. Just like there was one other hit last night outside of those solo shots. And, the other frustrating thing is it feels like these guys have given up. And there's too many guys on this team that are playing for their MLB careers for them to be giving up. That's what I can't believe, right? Like, it's one thing for a Mike Trout. He's got nothing to prove. He's a legend. He's going to be on this team next year, whether he hits 0 for 100, right? But for Oswald Peraza, I know he had a base hit tonight. But for him, for Bryce T, for these guys to just not be giving you anything, it's concerning, it's frustrating. And for most of these guys, they're just not MLB quality players. But still, you would love to see, even in a 9-2 ball game, a couple young guys do something that gives you something to grab onto, like we saw yesterday from Guzman and Christian Moore. But we didn't have that at all tonight. Luis Rengifo is probably the guy I'm most frustrated about because at least young guys, their excuses, they're not ready yet. Luis Rengifo, you're well past ready. You're past well done, bro. You're burnt at this point. You are burnt because you're a veteran that's going 0 for 4 while still needing to perform right now. Right? Trout has nothing to prove. Taylor Ward doesn't really have anything to prove. Even Joe Adell's in the clear, right? And everyone else in this lineup, Moore, Peraza, Guzman, Rivero, Teodosio, they're young and they have stuff to prove, but they're young and they have stuff to prove. Rengifo, you're a veteran that has something to prove. So you've got 2 reasons on why you should be playing well right now, and you're not. Concerning, frustrating, and Angels baseball in September, it sucks. It really, really does. That's why I appreciate you guys for being in here despite it. I hope you appreciate me for being in here despite being at work till 8 p.m. I'll be honest. It's not this team, guys. It's not this team. They're not the reason I'm doing this show. It's you guys. And so I appreciate you guys so much for being in here, for being patient with me through the technical difficulties today, the show cutting out for 30 seconds. I hope you appreciate me as well. And we'll be back here tomorrow. I said it last time. I said it yesterday, and I jinxed it. I said that today's show was going to be a normal show, or I was going to be at home. And in a studio set up with a good Wi-Fi and all that. Unfortunately, clearly the Wi-Fi wasn't good, but I did pack the microphone. I did pack the good camera. I did find a decent enough setup to where the quality was, outside of it cutting out for 20 seconds, was better. But I am promising you, and I better not be jinxing it right now, but I am promising you, I will be at home doing this show directly after the conclusion of the game. Okay? And so I hope the Angels mirror that same energy. They know that I'm going to bring an A-game show tomorrow where I'm at home with the good setup, with the good Wi-Fi, with the good everything, on time, with the good thumbnail, with the good background. Angels, I'm not even asking you to beat the Brewers. I get it. They're amazing. But give us an exciting game so I can give you an exciting A-quality show. That's all I ask. So shout out to everybody in here. Have a great rest of your Wednesday. I'm going to go drive home. I might pass out. Knock on wood, I don't. Jesus Christ. But have a great rest of your Wednesday night. Appreciate you guys so much. Keep your heads up. Larry says, get home safe and then have a few Coors Lights. Yeah, we might need to, because this team, it certainly makes you want to have them. But have a great rest of your Wednesday night. I'll see you back here tomorrow. And even after a night like this and all the recent nights, 6 nights in a row, by the way, keep your heads up and go Angels. Take care. Love you guys.